Hello and welcome to the One Life Church devotional series where we cover the entire Bible in 20 months. Today we look at the book of Leviticus, Leviticus 2 and 3, which is the beginning of a look at the sacrifices that the priests and the Levites did in the temple and the tabernacle. And you could say, well, God, what does all that stuff mean? Well, it's pictures, it's prophetic pictures of what Jesus did on the cross. And it's rich in symbolism and meaning for us. And I think it's very helpful to look at it because sometimes when we look at Jesus on a cross, we see the blood shed and we can miss the wonder of everything he achieved there. And so the first sacrifice we looked at yesterday was the atonement. It was the burnt offering. Today we're looking at the grain offering and the peace offering, and there are many other offerings to come. So the grain offering was bringing literally grain, flour, sometimes cooked, sometimes not, as a tribute to say thank you for everything that you had given, that God had given. It was also used as a tribute to other kings. You know, if you were a vassal in a kingdom and you wanted to say thank you to the king who was looking after you, you'd give him a grain offering. In Judges 3:15, the subjects gave grain offerings to an earthly king. And so what would happen is that they would come and bring this grain into the temple, and the priests would mix it with oil and mix it with fragrance, perfume, and they would burn that incense mixed with the flour and with the oil, and would go up as a sweet aroma. Then what would happen is that the rest of the grain, because they only took a handful and burnt that, the rest of it went to supply the needs and the food for the priests in the temple. Now that has continued through to the New Testament, where we bring to the Lord our thanksgiving and we say, thank you, Lord, for what you've given us. And as we give unto the Lord, it's giving to the Lord and also to his work, and his work that's the origin of that is the grain offering. Now, Leviticus 3 is the fellowship offering, which is also known as the peace offering. Now, what is a peace offering? A peace offering is to make good when you've messed up. Now, how many guys have gone out to the florist and bought one of these? Or in my instance, I will go out into the garden and I'll get one of these. Why? And you bring it back as like a peace offering when things aren't going well, when you've behaved like an idiot. Like maybe you've been playing golf too much, or maybe you've been just working too hard, or maybe you've said something carelessly, and you want to bring a peace offering to make amends, to keep peace in the home. Essentially, that's what this peace offering was. And so when someone wanted to make peace with God, they would get a young animal, a sheep or a goat or a bull, and they would take this to the priests, and they would burn it and they would sacrifice it, and they're basically coming before God and saying, God, this is my way of saying, let bygones be bygones. This is my way of saying, I'm sorry for what I've done. Now, as I said, Jesus is the fulfillment of all these sacrifices. Jesus came and as he presented his body before the Lord, he was like a grain offering. He was like presented before the Lord as the first fruits, the first man presented before God. And in addition to that, he came to bring peace. Ephesians chapter 2 says that in Jesus, the dividing wall of hostility was abolished between mankind and God. He was the peace offering that came up before God and basically said to the Lord, mankind, let's have peace with mankind. The peace offering, the grain offering, both offerings brought willingly before the Lord, one saying thank you, one saying please, bygones be bygones, please look at with mercy and peace on me. God bless you. Have a great day.